I wanted to share with you a lesson that I do with, or a trick that I use for nail art. Now at school we have it's like an arm. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's an arm. It holds my tablet, and so my tablet has a camera. So let's say that this is my tablet. It's right above me, and so it's recording me do the nail art as it's being projected onto the wall. We're Current Technical High School, so we're all technology. So it's really great if you have that. If you don't have that, definitely something, a little camera that you can project onto the wall is something that I highly recommend, because it's hard when you have a big class and students are trying to crowd around your table and you lose half of them that are sitting in the back, and you've got the interested ones in the front, and you can't really teach. It's not an effective way of teaching. I mean, you teach it, but it's just doesn't capture everyone's attention. So if you have a little a camera that you can place above you, there's like little arm cameras. I forget the names of them, but Active Inspire, I think there's a camera. I can't remember, but it's amazing. Dig into your budget, either personal budget or your school budget. Ask for it. If you would like to send me a question, an email, or a comment, I'll try to Google some and see what I've used in the past and what I really like and what may work for you. So what I like to do is teach them nail art the first 2 or 3 weeks of school, just because it's fast, it's fun, it's easy, it's not so messy, and it's something that they can come to school, they can learn something like immediately. Just like, okay, we're going to do 5 minutes of nail art, or 2 nail art designs, and then we're going to move on to our orientation packet or syllabus or whatever the case may be. So that way they're not just sitting in your class and you're like talking rule number 1 and rule number 2, and for kids nowadays, their attention span is really short, and then if you're just going to talk all day long, you're going to lose them. So you want to incorporate, or I incorporate, a lot of fun little activities here and there, and they get home and like, oh mom, guess what I did today, or mom, let me see, I can do this to you, or look what I learned, and it creates a sense of excitement, and they want to come back to your classroom. And when you start off the year that way, I guarantee, and you keep it up, you have to keep it up, you start off the year that way, it's going to be a great year. Those kids are going to love your classroom. They're going to want to come back because they know that they're going to learn something in your classroom, something that they can actually go home and do. So one thing, if you've seen the previous video about the henna design, or the henna lesson, you saw a little 2-ring binder like this. Okay, you get these anywhere. So what I did for this one, for the nail, I just took a little picture from Google or Pinterest, wherever. I have a little sticker I haven't taken off yet. But if you don't already buy the index cards with the hole punch, I'm going to show you how to make one. Now, let's say you already buy the index cards with the hole punch, and they already have the little, I don't know, with the little brad thingies on there, then you're done. It's easy. You're ready to go. But if not, let's say that you have just a regular index card. Okay, so what you do, if you only have this kind, then sorry, it's going to take forever. Just do one hole punch and that's it, okay? But if you don't, if you have one of these are amazing, and it's snowing, okay? All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to turn it around, okay? And it has these little knobs in the back, okay? And you measure out, how can I do this? You measure out where your holes will be, the distance of them. There's a ruler on here. And on the back as well, there's some markings. You can take a flathead screwdriver, or you can take a butter knife and unscrew it, because they come pretty tight. Unscrew it, move it around, and then whenever you're done, you take your index card and measure it out from the measurements there on the ruler, and there you go. You got your 2-hole punch. I didn't know you can do that until I Googled it. I love Google. All right, so then what you do, once you have your little hole punches on there, okay, you have the ability to go onto Pinterest, okay, and Google, and you can go and find a step-by-step nail tutorial pictures, or just a picture of it. Like this one's perfect. It shows you it's acrylic nail, but you can do the design with nail polish. It's not a problem. So what you do is you take this picture, save it onto your computer. whether it's Pinterest, Google, whatever, and then you print out your pictures. Now you can, if it's a PC, there's an option to where you can choose the size of the pictures, and so you want to choose not the smallest because they're itty bitty, but a pretty good size. And then like 9 pictures come out on one sheet. So I just use regular paper. If you want cardstock, that's fine. Sometimes the ink doesn't stick very well to the paper, but regular paper is good for me. The thicker the paper, the thicker your little binder is going to be, so keep that in mind. So I laminate it just so I make sure it lasts me a good while. And then what I do is I take this scrapbooking tape. Let me find the end here. So it's a double-sided tape. So then I put the tape on the back of my, if you can see it, tape on the back of my picture. Then I measure it out. Sometimes you do have to cut your picture a little bit more than what the original square was, just to make it fit. And so there you go. Okay, you've got your, and this I forget, a scoring tape. It's amazing. It is a little pricey, but regular tape just at the top is fine. Double-sided sticky tape is good too. So then what I do is I take and I put it in my little 2-ring binder. And so when I'm teaching, instead of looking through my computer or looking at my phone, making it look like I'm on my phone, I really like looking something for my lesson. Then as the students are watching from the camera that's recording above me on the wall, what I have is my little binder here. It's either I can take my individual note cards out, okay, I'm going to teach these 5 today, or if I just want to, have it to my side here, so I'll have it to the side, and then I'll have the nail finger with the nail tip, I'll put it and I'll paint, or I'll do the design. So again, it gives you, one thing that I learned when I worked at the Cosmetology Academy was that you got to fake it till you make it. As teachers, there's so many different designs and lessons and activities and things like that. And off the top of my head, if you just told me, okay, here's nail polish and nail brushes, teach me something, I would be like, I don't know, I forgot all the designs. But if I have a little graph like this, little chart, then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this, and don't be, like looking at it, like just kind of glance at it, and don't let the students know necessarily that you're looking off of it. You want to practice it a little bit before, but sometimes you don't have time to practice, or sometimes you just get caught off guard in a quick lesson. You're like, you know what, we're doing these for today. You pull them out, you teach them. Okay, and the information is there, and if you don't remember exactly step by step off the top of your head, it's okay, because you have your little cheat sheet. And it's kind of like your index cards when you were in school and you had to say your speech and you had your little cheat sheet. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just definitely a tool to help you to allow your lessons to run a lot smoother. And sometimes, and I've tried in the past to where, okay, I practice at home, so okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This is how you do the little beach scene with the palm tree and the sponge, and you're gonna do the ombre technique on the nail, and then I'll try it, or like a week before, or like the night before, I'll try it, and then I get to school and I do it, and it doesn't look anything like the picture, but that's my own fault, because I didn't have my backup of, okay, this was the first step, this was the second step, because as we all know, whenever you do something and then it doesn't come out right, the students are like, it didn't come out, or maybe they don't say it, but they're like, so we all know that, it's real. So this is definitely a great way to help you get through those quick lessons, or just nail art in general. And I'll put them either in order by season, like Christmas, Valentine's, all of that, or I'll put them in order of how I want to teach them, like easiest to the most difficult. So anyway, that is my little nail art